What's polite here can get you dirty looks, or worse, somewhere else. And what seems rude to you might just be the height of respect in another culture. The world runs on invisible, unwritten laws that rule everything from how you slurp your soup to how you greet your boss. Today we're taking you on a hilarious, jaw-dropping tour of the world's weirdest social codes, so strange they almost feel like real laws. 1. Forget everything your mother ever taught you about table manners. Seriously. In Japan, when you're eating ramen or soba noodles, slurping isn't just okay. It's a sign of ultimate respect. A loud, shameless slurp is a direct compliment to the chef, a sonic signal that you are in culinary heaven. It also supposedly enhances the flavor. It's a complete reversal of Western etiquette. Imagine that. Getting a silent nod of approval for something that would get you kicked out of a fancy restaurant back home. 2. In the Netherlands, there's a phrase that haunts every social interaction. Doe normaal, or just act normal. And trust me, they mean it. This isn't a friendly suggestion, it's the invisible fence of Dutch society. The goal is to blend in completely. Bragging? A cardinal sin? Showing off your wealth? Don't even think about it. It's a culture of radical equality that can be baffling to outsiders. You start talking about your big promotion, and you'll just get a blank stare and a flat, okay? It's the land where the tallest poppy gets cut down, fast. 3. Finland. A nation of 5 million people who would probably prefer it if all 5 million of them were in separate, soundproof rooms. They are the undisputed world champions of personal space. You've seen the memes of Finns at a bus stop, right? Scattered like they're all part of a social distancing drill from the future. It's not an exaggeration, at all. This isn't them being cold. It's a profound, deep-seated respect for privacy. Forcing small talk or standing too close isn't just awkward. It's a declaration of social war. 4. The United States. Land of the free and home of the socially mandated guilt trip we call tipping. I don't know about you, but I need a calculator and a therapist every time the check arrives. It's less of a transaction and more of a pop quiz on your moral character, delivered on a little black tray. You're expected to reward your server, your bartender, your barber, the guy who handed you a towel. Get it wrong, and you're not just cheap. You're a fundamentally bad person. It's not about generosity, it's a moral judgment with a price tag. 5. In Italy, ordering a cappuccino anytime after 11 a.m. is basically a declaration of war on their entire culture. It's not illegal, but you might as well have asked for pineapple on your pizza in downtown Naples. To Italians, milky coffee is a breakfast-only affair. It's practically a meal. Ordering one in the afternoon is seen as a digestive catastrophe. Just don't do it. Order a cappuccino at 3 p.m., and the judgment will be silent. But, oh, it will be swift. You'll be instantly branded a tourist barbarian. 6. In South Korea, your hands are never truly your own at the dinner table. Rule number 1. You never ever pour your own drink when you're with others. It's just not done. Your glass is the responsibility of the person next to you, and their glass is your responsibility. It's a perpetual motion machine of respect. And when you pour for an elder, you must hold the bottle with both hands. It's a constant, subtle dance of social awareness that makes you realize just how straightforward, and maybe a little selfish, Western drinking culture is. 7. Okay, quick experiment. Look at your hands. In much of India, the Middle East, and Africa, one of those hands is basically a social pariah. Your right hand? That's for the good stuff. Eating, shaking hands, passing money. Your left hand? It has a very specific, and let's just say, less glamorous job related to personal hygiene. Using it to eat is considered genuinely repulsive. And yes, even if you're a lefty, you're expected to get with the program. No excuses. 8. Everyone thinks they understand German punctuality. They don't. Being on time is for amateurs. It's a complex art form with unforgiving rules. Social event? Arrive 5 minutes early. Business meeting? Exactly on the dot. This isn't about efficiency. It's a moral code written on an invisible clock. Being late isn't an accident. It's a character flaw. And believe me, they will add it to your permanent record. 9. In France, bonjour isn't a greeting. It's a key. Without it, the door to French society remains locked, and you're left standing in the cold. It is the very first word you must say upon entering any shop. Forget it, and you cease to exist. You become invisible, say bonjour, and the world opens up. Well, opens up might be a strong word. More like the door creaks open just enough for you to squeeze through, while you still get a look of faint disapproval for simply existing. But hey, it's a start. 10. Across Scandinavia, a ghost whispers a set of rules in everyone's ear. It's called the Law of Jante, and its core message is chillingly simple. You are not special. It's the cultural force field that stops anyone from getting a big head. Celebrating your own achievements too loudly is a major taboo. It fosters community and humility, but also that nagging feeling that someone is waiting for you to get back in line. It's the cultural equivalent of a group chat that silently judges you for using an exclamation point. 11. In Greece, if you want to compliment someone's baby, you better be prepared to spit. No, really. It's a tradition called ftu ftu ftu, a symbolic, dry spitting motion done 3 times to ward off the evil eye. Giving a compliment is believed to attract envy and bad luck, so the spit is a magical counter-curse. It's not an angry, aggressive gesture. It's a protective one. Still, I can't help but imagine the sheer panic of an American tourist seeing a sweet old Greek lady seemingly spitting at their newborn. It's the cultural equivalent of knocking on wood, but with more saliva. 12. Whatever you do in Thailand, do not touch someone's head. Ever. The head is considered the most sacred part of the body, the literal home of the soul. Touching it, even in a friendly pat, is a profound violation. It's the spiritual high ground. Conversely, the feet are the lowest and dirtiest part, so pointing your feet at someone or at a religious icon is a massive insult. It's a crystal-clear, non-negotiable rule. Your hands have a strict, invisible, no-fly zone that exists above everyone's shoulders. 13. In the United Kingdom, offering someone a cup of tea isn't a simple question. It is the opening move in a delicate social ballet with more unspoken rules than the royal family. The specific way you ask, the precise milk-to-tea ratio, the heated debate over whether the milk goes in first or last, it's all freighted with meaning. Getting it wrong won't just get you funny looks. It's like tripping on the red carpet at Buckingham Palace while spilling your tea on the Queen's corgi. 14. If you show up for dinner in Spain at 7 p.m., you won't be early. You'll be eating alone, possibly while the restaurant staff is still setting the tables. Spaniards operate on a completely different timeline. A late lunch, an afternoon siesta, and then dinner, starting at 10 p.m. at the earliest. It's a lifestyle that fundamentally tells your body clock to take a hike. Dinner isn't just a meal, it's the evening's main event. Your normal bedtime is their appetizer. 15. In Egypt, hospitality isn't a friendly gesture. It's an aggressive, competitive sport, and you are the prize. When offered something, you are culturally obligated to refuse once or twice out of politeness. Your host is then obligated to insist. The unwritten rule is that you must finally accept on the third offer. You will be buried in an avalanche of kindness, and you are expected to enjoy it. Resisting is futile. Just accept your fate as a well-fed hostage. 16. In a Chinese business meeting, a business card is not a piece of paper. It's a direct extension of the person giving it to you. You must present your card with both hands, and you must receive their card with both hands. Upon receiving it, you don't just pocket it. You are expected to pause and study it carefully as a sign of respect. Shoving it in your wallet is like giving their entire professional identity a limp dead fish handshake. You failed the first test before you've even said a word. 17. For anyone who finds deep spiritual comfort in a single, orderly line, Brazil is your personal nightmare. The concept of a queue here is fluid. It's more of a polite, tightly packed cluster of humanity. It's not about being rude. It's a more communal, constantly renegotiated approach to waiting your turn. A line in Brazil is less of a straight path and more of a living, breathing organism that shifts and morphs. You don't get in line. You join the hive. 18. Yes, the stereotype is true. Canadians say sorry a lot. But you're probably misunderstanding it completely. It's not always an admission of guilt. More often than not, it's a social lubricant. It can mean, excuse me, or simply, I acknowledge our shared existence. If you bump into a Canadian, they will apologize. If a meteor falls from the sky, they will probably look up and say, oh, sorry about that. It's a verbal reflex woven into their DNA. 19. Get ready to pucker up. In Argentina, a quick kiss on the cheek is the standard greeting for basically everyone. Friends, family, new acquaintances, and yes, even men greeting other men. For an American used to a firm handshake, it can feel like you're going from zero to first base in a nanosecond. It's not romantic, it's just what you do. Offer a stiff handshake in return, and you've just loudly announced to the entire room that you are a tourist. A very, very awkward tourist. 20. Let's go back to Germany for a second because we need to talk about the stare. The German stare is a real thing. It's intense, unbroken, and unwavering eye contact that can feel unsettling. But here's the twist. It's not aggressive. It's a sign of sincerity. It feels like they're scanning your soul for logical fallacies, but really, it's just their way of showing you that you have their complete, undivided, and slightly terrifying attention. 21. In Mexico, your watch is lying to you. Or at least, it's telling a very different story than everyone else's. The concept of time here is wonderfully elastic. If a party is set for 8 p.m., showing up before 9:30 is basically a social crime. You'll find the host still in the shower. It's not about being disrespectful or lazy. It's about prioritizing people over schedules. The event doesn't start at a specific time. The event starts when the important people, meaning everyone, have arrived. Your meticulously planned schedule is, at best, a polite suggestion. 22. In Japan, if someone offers you a gift, the correct response is to act like you absolutely do not want it. You must refuse it. Politely, of course, but firmly, once, maybe twice. The giver is then expected to insist. It's a delicate performance, a scripted drama of humility and persistence. Accepting a gift immediately is seen as greedy and aggressive. This isn't a negotiation, it's a ritual. You're playing a game of no, I insist, chicken, and the cultural rule is that you have to be the one to swerve first. 23. We've all heard of Danish hygge, but let's talk about its Norwegian cousin, kos. It's a similar concept of coziness, intimacy, and contentment. But here's the twist. In the depths of a long, dark Norwegian winter, kos isn't just a pleasant option. It's mandatory. You will get cozy. You will light the candles. You will submit to the national cuddle agenda. Resistance is futile and probably illegal. 24. Imagine you're in a mall in Saudi Arabia, about to buy the perfect pair of shoes. Suddenly, the lights dim, the music stops, and a guy with a stick starts ushering you out of the store. This is a daily reality. Everything, from high-end boutiques to supermarkets, shuts down 5 times a day for prayer. No exceptions. There's no, I'll just be a minute. The entire rhythm of commerce bends to the rhythm of faith. Your shopping spree is on God's schedule, not yours. 25. In Ireland, the single most important social currency is something called the crack. And no, it has nothing to do with drugs. Crack is the intangible atmosphere of a good time. The perfect blend of witty banter, great stories, and infectious energy. It's a magical, elusive thing. The weird part? You can't plan for it. The moment you say, let's have some good crack, you've already murdered it. It's like quantum physics. The act of observing it, or trying to create it, fundamentally changes the outcome. 26. In America, you're taught to smile at strangers. In parts of Eastern Europe, this behavior will get you pegged as either a fool or dangerously unstable. A smile isn't a casual greeting, it's a declaration of actual warmth. Something you don't just hand out to everyone. Walk around grinning at people here and you're either selling something or hiding something. 27. The Japanese have a concept that is the key to understanding almost everything about their social interactions: hun and tatame. Tatame is your public face, the opinions and behaviors you display to maintain social harmony. Hunnen is your true, private feelings. Everyone understands that what you say isn't always what you think. It's not about being two-faced. It's a sophisticated social tool to avoid conflict. It's like everyone is in a play, and you had better learn your lines or you'll ruin the show for everyone. 28. To be clear, a South African braai is not a barbecue. Calling it that is like calling the Super Bowl just a ball game. A braai is an all-day ritualistic event. There is one braai master who is in charge of the fire, and you do not question his methods. The cooking takes hours. It's a marathon of slow grilling and socializing. It's not about efficiently cooking meat, it's about the entire process. It's a cultural institution with tongs. 29. In Finland, some of the most important business meetings of the week happen in a small, sweltering wooden room where everyone is completely naked. Welcome to the sauna. For Finns, the sauna is a place of deep, non-sexual, egalitarian bonding. Titles and hierarchies melt away with the sweat. Discussing a corporate merger while sitting nude next to your CEO isn't weird. It's Tuesday. It's probably the most honest meeting you'll have all week because it's hard to hide behind corporate jargon when you're not even wearing pants. 30. In the Philippines, the clock is more of a decorative suggestion than a tool for precise measurement. Filipino time means that being 15 to 60 minutes late for a social gathering is not just common, it's expected. It's a national understanding that things will happen when they happen. Getting angry about it is a waste of energy and marks you as an outsider. It's a beautifully relaxed approach to life that is also guaranteed to give a German tourist a full-blown aneurysm. 31. In huge parts of the world, from Canada to Japan to all of Scandinavia, when you enter someone's home, there is a sacred, invisible line at the doorway. It is not a suggestion. It is not a polite request. It is the law of the land. You take your shoes off. To an American who lives their life in sneakers, this can feel odd. But to them, your dirty shoes tracking sidewalk filth across their clean floor isn't just messy. It's a declaration of war on their entire concept of home. 32. In America, the end of a group meal often descends into a chaotic mess of Venmo requests and itemized receipt forensics. In France, it's a subtle, bloodless duel. The rule is simple: whoever extended the invitation pays. End of story. But this leads to a bizarre performance where everyone fights to pay the bill, aggressively insisting, knowing full well who is supposed to win. It's a beautifully choreographed play about generosity that everyone already knows the ending to. 33. Quick! Point at something across the room. You just used your index finger, didn't you? In Indonesia, you've just committed a major act of aggression. Your index finger is basically a tiny bony weapon reserved for scolding children or pointing at animals. To point politely, you must use your thumb, usually with a closed fist. The index finger is an accusatory jab. The thumb is a gentle, respectful nudge. It's the difference between saying, "Look over there," and "I accuse that thing of treason." 34. We've mentioned the left-hand rule, but let's put it into practice. Imagine you're in Morocco, sitting around a communal dish of steaming tagine. You eat with your right hand, scooping up food with bread. Now imagine you absent-mindedly reach in with your left hand. The meal grinds to a halt. Everyone freezes. You have just contaminated the shared food with the hand, universally understood to be for other things. In that moment, that's not your hand anymore. It's a social contaminant. 35. In Australia, shouting doesn't mean raising your voice. it means buying a round of drinks. And it's governed by a social contract more rigid than the tax code. If you are part of a group, you buy a round for everyone. Then the next person buys a round. And so on. It is a sacred ledger of social debt. The cardinal sin is not failing to pay. It's accepting drinks from others and then leaving before it's your turn to shout. You haven't just been cheap, you've broken the system. 36. The Indian head wobble. It is one of the most wonderfully ambiguous gestures on the planet. It's a gentle, side-to-side figure-8 motion that can mean yes, no, maybe, okay, I understand, or I acknowledge you are speaking. It is the Schrodinger's cat of non-verbal communication. For outsiders, it's baffling, but for locals, its meaning is perfectly clear from the context. You're not supposed to analyze it. You're supposed to feel it. Good luck with that. 37. After Japan's delicate dance of indirectness, let's take a trip to Israel, the world capital of chutzpah. Small talk is often seen as a waste of time. Politeness can be interpreted as weakness. People will get straight to the point with a directness that can feel shockingly blunt to an American. It's not rude. It's a culture of social efficiency. They're not trying to offend you, they just believe the shortest distance between 2 points is a brutally honest straight line. 38. Fika. In Sweden, this is not a coffee break. It is a sacred, non-negotiable ritual. Twice a day, in the morning and afternoon, everything stops for fika. You stop working, you sit down with your colleagues, you have coffee or tea, you eat a pastry, and you talk about anything but work. It is a legally mandated moment of peace. Attempting to work through fika is seen as antisocial and deeply weird. Productivity is fueled by scheduled pauses, not by powering through. 39. In South Korea, before you can have a basic conversation with a new person, you need to ask a deeply personal question. How old are you? This isn't nosiness, it's a critical system requirement. The Korean language has different verb endings and honorifics based on whether you're speaking to someone older, younger, or the same age. Your age determines your place in the social hierarchy. It is a social GPS, and without that data point, you are completely lost, guaranteed to offend someone. 40. In New Zealand, there's a powerful cultural force known as tall poppy syndrome. The idea is that if one poppy in a field grows too tall, it gets cut down to size. In human terms, this means that anyone who becomes too successful, too boastful, or too prominent will be swiftly and ruthlessly brought back down to earth by their peers. It fosters a strong sense of egalitarianism, but it's a nightmare for ambition. It's a cultural gravity that keeps everyone from getting too far ahead. 41. We all know someone who does it. They're at a party, having a great time, and then they just vanish. No goodbye, no farewell hug, nothing. They just evaporate into the night. This isn't just rude behavior. It's a perfected art form known as the Irish goodbye. It's a cultural understanding that long, drawn-out goodbyes are awkward and unnecessary. The best way to leave is to simply not. It's the social equivalent of being a ghost, and honestly, there's a certain genius to it. 42. In Italy, a conversation is not a quiet exchange of information. It is a full-body, high-volume performance. The volume that Americans might use for a heated argument is simply the baseline for an Italian family discussing what to have for dinner. Hand gestures fly, voices overlap, and the energy is palpable. It's not anger, it's passion, it's engagement. A quiet, subdued conversation isn't seen as polite, it's seen as boring. A library and an Italian dinner party operate on two completely different planes of acoustic reality. 43. In many East Asian cultures, particularly in China and Japan, the number 4 is the ultimate bad luck charm. The word for 4 sounds terrifyingly similar to the word for death. And they take this seriously. Many buildings will skip the 4th, 14th, and 24th floors, going straight from 3 to 5. You avoid giving gifts in sets of 4. It's a genuine phobia called Tetrophobia. It's like an entire culture decided to treat a number like it's a contagious disease. 44. The first question an American asks a stranger is almost always, "So, what do you do?" In many parts of Europe, this is considered incredibly rude. It's too personal, too direct, and implies that you are defining them solely by their job. To Americans, your career is your identity. To many others, it's just what you do for money. It's not who you are. Asking that question isn't a friendly icebreaker. It's turning a casual hello into an impromptu job interview. 45. To a Westerner, a bath is where you go to get clean. In Japan, this idea is fundamentally wrong. A Japanese bath, or ofuro, is where you go to relax after you are already clean. First, you sit on a small stool and scrub your entire body with soap and water, rinsing completely. Only then, once you are pristine, do you enter the hot bath to soak. Getting into the bath while still dirty is the equivalent of washing your feet in the soup. You're not just getting in a tub, you're entering a sanctuary. 46. In America, asking for a doggy bag to take home leftovers is completely normal. It's practical and reduces waste. In much of Europe, especially in France or Italy, it's a social misstep. It implies the portions were too big, or worse, that you're cheap. It ruins the illusion of the perfect dining experience. To them, boxing up leftovers is like asking the chef to autograph your dirty napkin. 47. In China, giving cash as a gift can be an art form. During Lunar New Year and other special occasions, money is given in a hongbao, a red envelope. But there are rules. The bills must be new and crisp. The amount should contain the lucky number 8 and avoid the unlucky number 4. No coins. It's a symbolic gesture where the presentation and the hidden meanings are more important than the cash value itself. It proves that even money isn't just money. 48. Driving in Rome is not transportation. It is a high-speed, non-verbal negotiation involving hand gestures, aggressive posturing, and a language of honking that would take years to master. Lanes are suggestions. Traffic lights are festive decorations. Parking spots are abstract concepts. It's not chaos, not really. It's a fluid, organic system that somehow works. You're not driving a car, you're piloting a small metal gladiator through a modern coliseum. 49. In America, you're taught to clean your plate to show you enjoyed the meal. In China, and some other Asian countries, cleaning your plate is an insult to your host. An empty plate means they didn't provide enough food for you and that you're still hungry. The polite thing to do is to leave a small amount of food behind to signal that you are full and satisfied. It's a cultural mindbender where you risk insulting your host by being too polite by Western standards. All right, we've navigated 49 cultural minefields, and just one remains. But before we get to our grand finale, it's time for the final verdict. In our opinion, the award for the most mind-bendingly weird cultural norm on this list goes to Finland's business sauna. Why? Because it proves that the most important corporate decisions can be made in a place with zero clothes, zero privacy, and 100% humidity. The idea of negotiating a merger with your CEO while you're both sweating and completely naked isn't just weird. It's a level of workplace transparency most of us can't even comprehend. Do you agree? Or did another norm deserve the crown? Let us know in the comments. And now, for our final number. 50. In Germany, there is a sacred daily ritual that overrides all other concerns, including the laws of thermodynamics. It is called lüften, or airing out. This isn't just cracking a window, it's a shock ventilation, throwing all windows wide open for several minutes, even in the dead of winter, to completely exchange the stale indoor air for fresh, cold air. Not doing so is considered unhygienic and a direct cause of mold. It is a non-negotiable domestic duty. It's not a preference, it's a moral imperative. So we've journeyed across the globe, and it's clear now. Every country is just a secret society with its own bizarre set of passwords. We've covered 50 of them, but let's be honest, this list is far from complete. I know for a fact there's at least one profoundly weird, unwritten rule from your country we missed. The kind locals just know, but that would make any outsider's brain short-circuit. The comment section is now officially a database for these missing rules. Don't just name it. Explain it like you're warning a clueless tourist seconds before disaster. And if you enjoyed realizing the world is even stranger than you thought, help this little project. Hit like and subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into glorious human madness.